Hi, I'm Derek, Sales Director of Yo Telecom, and just over 2 years ago, we installed a new phone system here at Touchstone Property Services, and today we're going to find out how it's helped increase their success and make a difference for the better.
When Chris from Yo first visited our offices, he kind of said to me, what are the issues? And I said, you'll never get a phone system in here because we just have no connection. I am Stacey Phillips. I'm the Director of Technology and Innovation for Touchstone. Touchstone are a large property management company. We manage about 16,000 properties up and down the UK. We've got a turnover of about 9 million. And we've got about 200 employees, and that's in offices spread throughout London, Scotland, North, pretty much everywhere, so that's us. We literally had very old school analogue telephones, and that is how we operated. And obviously with Yo now, we have all of our phones on the laptops, we have the apps on our mobiles that allow us to work from home and do all of that cool stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much transformed our kind of infrastructure. Before Yo, we had a call recording system, but we had no faith in it at all. So we would type in a number and it would kind of be potluck as to whether it had actually been recorded. So we couldn't use it to actually train colleagues on call handling. It can be a bit daunting for new staff, and then obviously since having Yo in place, we have a really easy to use recording system. So it's made quite a difference to our managers who can now are comfortable that they can, search for a call should we get any need to, and have the faith that that call is there. So yeah, it's made a huge difference. So prior to having Yo in place, we didn't have any type of call reporting facilities. So we had absolutely no way of monitoring all of our 200 colleagues. And that became a little bit of a challenge when we moved to home working as well. I think it became important for all businesses to have those performance metrics and have the peace of mind that everyone is doing a good job is actually the case. So the biggest change for us that Yo has provided is actually having performance measurements. And the dashboards are a very welcome and handy tool to our management team. It's completely changed what we're able to do. We're able to kind of digest that information and, more importantly, start to either tweak the system to help us or improve our performance, change those metrics. So yeah, it's been really useful. Remote working was kind of forced upon us. It is not ideal that colleagues in the building were diverting their analogue phones to their personal mobiles, and we had no other option for them. And when we've looked at flexible working in the past, aside from COVID, it's always been a blocker that we didn't have a phone system or the technology to do it. And then since having Yo in place now, we are able to work from home. We're looking to continue it even after the guidelines have passed on. And also the one thing we were never able to do with the phones is actually have all of our offices operating under the same system. And because of the apps now that you can have on the mobile, even our agile workers can use the Yo system, whereas prior to Yo, they couldn't actually come onto our system. So yeah, it's worked really well. We've always been based in Bath as a business, and actually, when I started quite a few years ago, there were only 15 people in the business, and we'd stuck with the same phone provider even though we'd grown at quite a rapid pace. If we needed something, it was quite difficult. We would always have to raise a ticket. There'd be no one at the other end of the phone, certainly no 24/7 support that Yo offer. Just having that 24/7 support and that hand-holding has kind of changed the way we're able to react. Our setup internally prior to Yo was that we had a phone provider, our lines were with a different provider, we had about 3 or 4 different bills, but we had no real way of checking those bills, so we just relied on the fact that they stayed pretty consistent month on month. Whereas with Yo now, they come through, we can see what is costing us, who we've been on the phone to, and again, whether we have the right amount of users or not, and as they come and go, that's quite easy to understand. So yeah, reconciling the bill is now a lot easier. The actual switchover itself, we did the rollout pretty quickly in terms of we had to get people back to the office, and it was large scale, it's 200 people, and we were completely changing the infrastructure, but also We'd never had any call routing before, we'd never had any call queuing, so there were hundreds of messages that we had to record. You know, it opened up our options massively, so it wasn't a straight switch, but it went relatively smoothly. Yes, I would recommend Yo Telecom based on the ease of the system. So there's all the reasons around cost, there's all the reasons around, you know, they were great in helping us switch over. But the reality is, as a management tool, we really couldn't do without it now. We struggled without it. As a tool for our customer services, you know, it makes everything much easier for customers trying to get through to us. Like I said, we never had any of the pre-recorded messages or anything like that. So it's definitely improved our customer service and helped us internally as well.